Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning. I want to welcome all of you for coming out today on a beautiful summer hot day to join us for this really important ceremony that we have, which is to mark the official start of the construction here at 263 Summer Street to create 77 new homes in Boston, including 15 that will be income restricted. The city... Actually, if you don't know me, I'm Kairos Shen, Chief of Planning, working for the Mayor, Mayor Wu. This city's Office to Residential Conversion program that helped make this project possible came about because Mayor Wu is committed to doing everything that she can do to support housing creation in the city. She's relentless in pursuing creative, innovative solutions to reinvigorate downtown and commercial districts like the Fort Point. This innovative program that required City Hall staff to embrace interdepartmental collaboration and to operate at times outside of their comfort zone is not just being regulators, but also problem solvers. I believe it's a great example of the type of culture change envisioned by the mayor when she created the new planning department. I want to acknowledge the dedicated work of the staff, both within the planning department and many of the sister departments that worked on this project, to congratulate them for making this project a success. Converting a building from commercial use to residential use is complicated and expensive. Our program allows developers to transition the building rapidly from commercial to residential tax base through a 75% tax abatement for 29 years on that new residential tax rate. Our program supports these projects and makes them financially feasible because of the enormous benefit that they will deliver to Boston and our residents. This building and the 20 additional buildings in this program won't just deliver much needed housing and new residents, they will also bring these older structures up to today's accessibility and energy performance standards, preserve the historic character of the Fort Point Channel neighborhood, and also provide a range of housing options close to transit and the downtown. These projects are exactly in line with the kind of planning that Mayor Wu has charged the planning department with, ensuring that we're envisioning and investing in communities that are family-friendly, meet the needs of our residents, and invite more people to call Boston home. Despite today's challenges in the market conditions, we will continue to do everything we can at the city level to foster investment in our city and work with our partners to reimagine and reinvigorate downtown. I'm grateful to Adam Burns, who is hosting us today at this project, and to celebrate this important milestone with you. It is my honor now to introduce you to the ever-innovative Mayor Wu.
Thank you so much, Kairos. Good morning to all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining with us in a very exciting moment and milestone for this program, but also for how we're thinking about making Boston a home for everyone all across the city. First, I just want to say how blessed and lucky I feel every day to work alongside Kairos Shen. He is truly a gift to this city in terms of the knowledge, the expertise, the vision, and the ability to cut through all of the complication and get things done. We would not be here today for this program or for many other of the achievements we've been able to celebrate across the city without the dedicated work of our planning department, of all of those team members, and of the leadership at the top. So thank you again to Kairos and the entire planning team. I want to give a special shout out to John, who has been championing and quarterbacking our Office to Residential Conversion program. So thank you for all of your dedication, figuring out the details. I had asked Adam beforehand, now that they've gone through the process, what more could we do better and what improvements could we make? And he said, John's been taking my improvements as we go. And so we've been adjusting and making those changes. So we really appreciate how you've been in the program and how you've been helping steer it. I also want to thank and recognize the partners from across the city, our other departments who have been a key part of bringing us to today as well. Chief of Housing, Sheila Dillon, thank you for all that you do. We've had an exciting week. We have our Commissioner of Inspectional Services, Tanya Del Rio. And again, many of our partners from planning and beyond. Finally, thank you to the neighborhood leaders who are gathered here as well. So you'll hear shortly from Tom representing the Fort Point Neighborhood Association. We're so thankful for your dedication and the work with us to, sometimes zoning can be a big, where's Tom? Zoning can be a complicated and thorny topic to bring up in our civic conversations, but you all helped us sign off on this program in record time, get it going, and we would not be here right now in the midst of a lot of economic pressure made worse in just the last 6 months under new federal policies. We would not be here under the stress of what cities are still transitioning through in downtowns around the country had we not moved quickly, starting several years ago in partnership with our community members and neighborhood association leaders and elected officials to get us to be at the point where we're going to smash some drywall later today. Thank you also. I see Simon and Nancy here from West Broadway. Thank you for your partnership across the neighborhood. And I want to give a shout out to Lydia. Where's Lydia Pulaski, our neighborhood liaison for the South Boston area. To our elected officials, I'm so grateful. This program has been possible because of the strong support of our city council. We have moved as quickly as possible with that. I know they are here in spirit with us. And I also want to thank our legislators at the state level because the governor and her administration, with sign-off from the state legislature, were able to make an unprecedented $15 million investment in our Office to Residential program for those projects that could only happen with that. Thankfully, this one was one that happened thanks to the ingenuity of these developers. But we're very grateful for the partnership at the state. So thank you to Chair Michaelwitz, to Senator Collins, and Representative Beal for all that you do. And to Mike Nichols and all of our business organizational partners and friends, I'm going to be citing a lot of the stats that Mike has been tracking very meticulously to make sure we're moving in the right direction and we can report back. So we're happy to see you in any part of our downtowns, and thanks for the work you do, especially in the Downtown Crossing Financial District area. So as you will hear today, our administration has been about taking big swings for Boston's future. That's to put in place the programs, the funding, the infrastructure, so that over the last 3.5 years, we have helped more Bostonians become first-time home buyers than ever before. 1,000 residents now buying their first home in the city of Boston, putting down those roots. We have more than 17,000 units of housing either created or in construction right now, with more, did I get those numbers right, Sheila? With another 6,000 in the pipeline to come. So we're well over 20,000 units that are in progress and moving over the course of this administration. We also have invested more funding in housing and housing affordability than any other mayoral administration in Boston's history. Again, thanks to the partnership of the Boston City Council for working with us and the leadership of our teams across the city. All of this makes for some important numbers and statistics, but it's really, at the end of the day, about the people. And just a couple days ago, we were able to see and feel and hear the excitement coming from some of our newest first-time home buyers in Boston. We were with Ms. Soto at her brand new home in Dorchester, and I got to hear her daughter, one of her 3 daughters, the middle girl, show me around the new home and say that her favorite part of the house was the stairs, because she's never lived in a home before with stairs and with a space that everyone could have their own room and everyone could thrive. That program is possible because of a ton of hard work. Funders partnering with the City of Boston, changes to our processes, cutting in signing an executive order to cut in half the amount of time that affordable housing development approvals happen. We're down 30% now, and we're going to get almost all the way to 50% by the end of the year. But what this means is that those 3 girls in Dorchester are going to grow up not ever having to worry about seeing their mom's face if a letter comes from the landlord saying the rent has gone up by too much, or having conversations about where they'll have to go to school and if they're going to have to be uprooted from their community. Whenever we make investments in housing, whenever we make investments in affordability, it's not just benefiting those new homeowners or those new residents of Boston. It benefits our entire city because our communities are strengthened with the contributions that these new community members will be able to keep giving and pouring in. So thank you to all of those partners who have also helped with our Welcome Home Boston program and creating affordable housing throughout our neighborhoods. Ms. Soto's home was designed with loving care and built by Norfolk Design and Construction, whose principals shared with us that as dads of kids as well, they were designing those spaces as if it would be their own families living in them. By the end of this latest phase of Welcome Home Boston, we will be creating at least 175 new home ownership opportunities in Dorchester, Hyde Park, Mattapan, and Roxbury. And today, we're excited to showcase that this progress is also happening in downtown and in the neighborhoods close to downtown. So huge congratulations, and most of all, a huge thank you to Adam Burns and your entire team on getting construction started here. Sorry, I just looked over and I saw Sarah McCammond, also from 4 Points, so sorry to not recognize you. Thank you for all that you do, Sarah. We know how complex it is to do what Adam and his team have done with the city. These conversions are not what was originally envisioned for the building and take a lot of work maneuvering all the small spaces, making sure that everything is set, and changing the entire use so that these buildings can be revitalized and meet the city's goals for housing. We're so proud that this building will now be home to 77 new families, including 15 families living in income-restricted affordable units right here in Fort Point. With this building, with the one on Albany Street in the south end, one on Portland Street in the west end, and a 4th on Franklin Street downtown, ready to welcome tenants by the end of the summer, we will be up to more than 140 new units under construction right now through our office to residential conversion program. Now, I know the need is immense, and when we talk about the housing crisis in Boston and in Greater Boston, it's not in single units, it's not even in dozens of units or hundreds of units. We're talking tens of thousands of units, but every little bit makes a difference. And I want to just emphasize how quickly this program has gotten up and running, thanks to the creativity and thanks to the dedication of all who have been involved. This program was launched less than 2 years ago, and we already have nearly 800 units in the pipeline. That's space for more than 1,000 new residents, families, workers, students who will be ready to settle in and continue shaping our city. Our peer cities across the country have been taking notes as well. Our counterparts have reached out to get pointers and figure out how we became home to one of the most successful office to residential conversion programs in the nation. Cities around the country are trying to reimagine, reinvent, and reinvigorate their downtowns. In Boston, we're showing that it takes an all-of-government approach and it takes partnership across every sector, along with community support. We are succeeding because our residents, our businesses, our developers know that when we say we're making Boston a home for everyone, that means more than just creating housing. It means making sure our streets are safe, which is why we've expanded our summer safety mini grants to include downtown and South Bay, so local organizations can create more opportunities for safe, family-friendly fun throughout the summer. It's why we're making sure that our efforts to tackle substance use outdoors and to provide resources and pathways to recovery are continuing to move forward with the Boston Police Department, the Boston Public Health Commission, and all of our partners in the community. It's why we're going all in on our Safe Shopping initiative, a partnership between the police department, the district attorney's office, and our business community to reduce shoplifting and keep our workers and businesses safe. Over the last 3 months, violent crime downtown has dropped 48% from the same period last year. These efforts to revitalize downtown are making a difference. Since taking office 3.5 years ago, we've seen nearly 20 large companies move in or expand downtown. Companies like Creatio, Klaviyo, Q-Blox that have brought more than 8,500 jobs to Boston. We've nearly cut in half our office vacancy compared to 2.5 years ago. For 3 straight quarters, more companies are signing office leases to renew, expand, or arrive newly downtown than are leaving, reversing a national and local trend. From 2023 through mid-2025, more than 40 new street-level restaurant and retail businesses and spots filled up, debuting in the Downtown Business Alliance area. Foot traffic rates are up 11% in the last 4 months compared to the same time period a year ago. And the index that AIM conducts around business confidence across Boston and the region went up this last June, as we see some of the, even under very difficult circumstances, our businesses are believing in Boston and doubling down, digging in with us to make things happen and continue moving forward. Our all-of-government approach helps to lay out every little detail that adds up to the big picture. And we're very excited. In the coming weeks, we'll be launching our, or giving a report out on all the permitting efforts that have been underway to really cut red tape and reduce times through inspections, through all the processes that residents and businesses have to go through. So at the city, we know that making Boston a home for everyone means taking a thoughtful, creative approach to everything we do. It means taking big swings for our future. It means knocking down the walls and the barriers that stand in our way, like we'll do for this wall in just a few minutes. So before that, I want to invite up Adam Burns to say a few words. He will be followed by Tom Reddy of the Fort Point Neighborhood Association, Mike Nichols, president of the Downtown Business Alliance, then Chair Aaron Michaelwitz, and Representative David Beal.
Is that my plastic baggie?
Good morning, everyone. As a 2-time applicant to the City of Boston's Downtown Conversions Pilot Program, I'm incredibly honored to be here today as we break ground on our second project, which is a reflection of both our team's vision and this city's bold, innovative leadership. I'd like to start off with a thank you to Mayor Michelle Wu. Your unwavering commitment to tackling office vacancy and a housing crisis, not as 2 separate problems, but as a shared opportunity, is truly inspiring. Your leadership has turned a potential crisis into a catalyst for reinvention. We're proud to stand with you today in that effort. Also, I'd like to thank Kairos Sheen. Your planning, insight, and strategic guidance has helped shape this path forward. And of course, you've already heard, but I'd like to also thank John Weil, whose tireless commitment to breaking down barriers has been essential. I often joke, and it's actually quite true, when we're permitting one of these projects, I talk to John more than I talk to my own wife. But that's only because of his sheer dedication to this program and his unmatched efforts. Without you, John, this would not be possible. And to the entire city staff involved, a heartfelt thanks. Your support, your creativity, your drive made it all possible to go from an idea to groundbreaking with record speed and clarity. Other cities around the United States are just beginning to emulate what Boston is succeeding at here. We're leading the way. Our first project at 281 Franklin Street proves what's possible when public and private sectors work together around shared and aligned goals. That 6-story former office building is now nearing completion. It will soon welcome its first residents into downtown Boston, and this is a milestone, not just for us, but what for this pilot program actually represents. And now to 263 Summer Street, where we're standing today. We're building on that momentum and that success of our first project in the historic and iconic Boston Wharf Co. Industrial Real Estate Building with a beacon on top, the beautiful Boston Wharf Co. Industrial Real Estate sign. lighting the way between the downtown and Fort Point. We're transforming this underutilized 8-story building into 77 apartments, 15 of those being affordable and income restricted. We're enlivening the ground floor commercial space with new tenants. Thanks to this program and the mayor's support, the permitting process moved forward swiftly. This means vital housing being delivered to Boston years sooner than it otherwise would have. This program is more than a policy. It's a forward-looking solution. It reimagines our urban core, it activates our neighborhoods, and it helps build livable, equitable, and resilient Boston for future generations. So a final thank you to Mayor Michelle Wu, Kairos Sheen, John Weil, and all the city team. Thank you for seeing the opportunity. Thank you for acting boldly. And thank you for equipping us with the tools to deliver this change. We're honored to be your partner, and we're thrilled to get to work. Thank you.
Hi, and pro tip, Adam, air conditioning first in the next construction we do. Right? My name is Tom Reddy, and I'm with the Fort Point Neighborhood Association. This is our community, and on behalf of my colleague, Sarah McCammon, the residents in this room, we'd like to welcome you to our corner of South Boston. We particularly want to thank Mayor Wu, as Adam has before us, as well as Chief Shen, and the planning department team for their willingness to engage with us during the launch, because this all started with the launch of the Downtown Office to Residential pilot program, and their willingness to extend that across Fort Point Channel into this historic Fort Point Channel Landmark District. It couldn't have happened without that first step. Beginning in the mid-70s, the brick and beam buildings that make up our neighborhood, there's about 95 of them, give or take. They have primarily been light manufacturing and warehouse loft buildings. They started to become home to artists that had been displaced from other Boston neighborhoods. So that influx, if you would, of that creativity set the foundation for the vibrant mixed-use community that our neighborhood has become. And with this project, 263 Summer, this will be the 16th building in our neighborhood that's been repurposed from that traditional loft and manufacturing base to residential use. The very first, though, to take advantage of the program and the tax benefits it brings. We would also like to thank Adam Burns, John Weil, and the planning department team for their thoughtful engagement, and it was thoughtful as we proceeded through this development review process, and particularly agreeing to maintain the Boston Wharf Company sign that's on the roof of this building. We feel the sign is one of Boston's most visible icons. It's a welcoming beacon to our neighborhood, and it's a defining feature of the Fort Point Channel Landmark District. Given its age, it requires ongoing attention to remain in good repair, and the neighborhood deeply appreciates the city's support in solidifying the commitment for its continued operation. Adam, we look forward to this construction finishing, now that it's started, and we particularly look forward to the day we can welcome more than 80 new neighbors into our community. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Nichols, president of the Downtown Boston Alliance. We're a nonprofit organization that works on behalf of the commercial property owners of downtown and their constellation of office tenants, retail businesses, and the whole host of tourist visitors to our downtown, office workers, commuters, diners, students, theater visitors, everyone that makes the constellation of downtown work, that ecosystem. We're thrilled to think on their behalf about what should be the future of downtown Boston. And we are thrilled about this project, and I'm here today in no small part because when the residents of this building look out this window, they're going to see their offices. When they look out this window, they're going to see short commutes to some of the best constellation of restaurants and things to do our city has to offer. A project completed in this area and in the ribbon around the downtown helps the downtown. Our peer organization in Philadelphia, the Center City District, put out a report about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, about return to office. And everybody like me in every part of the country is thinking about how do we get people back in their offices more often. I'll give you a hint, it's not free coffee. It's not like forcing people to be there on a Wednesday. The number one metric across the United States for people returning to their office is the proximity they live to that job. And so a project like this and the number of projects that John is currently working through right now in the downtown, 3 approved already and many more to come, is thinking about how do we load more people into the downtown to support our small business community, to return to our offices, to return value to the traditional job center that is the downtown. You heard the mayor speak about the statistics are great right now. We've had a really great year so far through the work of the Wu administration. Foot traffic is up. Office vacancy is down, retail vacancy is down. Through the Space Grant program, there's an eclectic, interesting mix of new retailers open and operating in the downtown. The missing piece is going to be bringing more people to live in and near the downtown. So we are thrilled about this project. We're thrilled about Adam's work as well in the downtown. We're excited about the new projects to come and the momentum that this program is spurring for the further return and repositioning of our downtown as a 24/7 neighborhood that will succeed throughout the week, throughout the year, as something for many generations to come. So thank you so much for everyone at the city working on this program.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Michowitz. I'm the state representative from the other side of the channel here. And I want to thank my 4 Point neighbors for allowing me to infringe on your space. Thank you, Representative Beal, particularly, for having me here today. And, I wanted to come down here because, obviously, representing downtown, we've had some difficult years previously, particularly post-COVID and everything that we've been dealing with. I just want to point out to all the developers, to all the property owners, and to all the residents, this program is working. This program is making a difference. It is making a big impact. It is changing the game of what we think about when we talk about downtown neighborhoods. I'm very grateful for the administration, particularly obviously the mayor and her team for what they've done, for the innovation they've created, for the vision that they've created. Wouldn't have happened without the mayor's go-gettedness, her doggedness and her attention to detail to make sure that this program takes shape. And I want to thank all you in the administration for doing that and making that a reality. It's such a good program that we kind of stole it a little bit from the state, actually, and we did our own little thing in the economic development bill. It wasn't from last year. It wasn't a little thing. It was $150 million, but it was certainly something that we wanted to make sure that the state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, was participating in this discussion, not just from the city of Boston's perspective, but also from the entire Commonwealth, because we've heard other major cities across the country have this conversation and have this discussion, and we've listened to a lot of excuses of how it won't work and how it's not feasible. Well, Boston is showing that it is feasible. Excuses aren't being made. Results are actually being made. And so this is a great day to celebrate another step in this journey, also with Portland Street as well. I know we have a number of projects like we did with the state with Milk Street and Court Square. There's so much going on with this discussion. I'm very proud of the work that we're doing. We cannot stop now. We have to keep moving forward and keep this progress on this thing. So everyone pay attention, get involved. Anybody that's thinking about what they want to do with their property going forward, this is a program to get invested in. So thank you so much for having me. And now I'm gonna turn it over to my partner, my 4 Point partner here, Representative Dave Bill, who was telling us earlier was in demolition before and was giving us some great tips on how to do this work. So we're going to see if we're good listeners. But we'll see. David Beal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that very kind introduction. And today's a great day for our community. I want to thank the City of Boston, the mayor. We all know that we are facing a housing crisis, not just here in Boston, but across the state. And it's innovative ideas, innovative programs like this, which are going to help move forward to address those needs. I want to thank Adam Burns and his team for being a partner in the private sector, for participating in this. Also want to give incredible thanks to Tom, Sarah, Steve, who's here, the entire 4 Point Neighborhood Association, for being partners at the table to understand the task at hand and to work creatively and collaboratively to create new housing and new affordable housing. Also want to thank my local colleagues who support initiatives, Councillor Flynn, Senator Collins, who was here for his partnership alongside the chair up at the State House, and to our congressman, who is always thinking outside the box on new creative ways. It's a proud day for our community of South Boston. It's an honor to be a part of this program, to participate in this program, to spread the good word to other parts of the state, working through legislation alongside the chairman, who's been a great partner and advocate alongside the mayor, and look forward to the day where we're opening doors to welcome in our new residents. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and look forward to many more days like this ahead.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Any questions for Kairos or Adam? Or fine, anyone.
So I think when it comes to the program, Boston had sort of a unique ability to act nimbly and act innovatively. And so I feel that while there have been conversions going on for decades in other cities such as New York and Calgary, when it comes to addressing the problem that faces us today in Boston's office market today, I feel that we're best placed to act nimbly and quickly. And this program's really shown that through not only projects like this with the building permit issue today, and now we have 4 across out of the 16 applications, but others in flight, that you will be seeing results coming into the city very quickly, and that more is to come. So I think proof of concept was needed. I think we're at that stage where we've shown everybody that this is something that can be done and will be done in Boston, and now I think you're just going to see this blossom and accelerate as we go forward. Timeline for this project? I mean, I'll defer to Adam on this one, but I think what we're seeing typically is sort of a 12 to 18 month construction period, which is much quicker than new ground up, but
No, thank you for the question, and I might get some looks from my construction team that's standing over here if I say the wrong thing or I try to push them too fast, but we're targeting a 14-month construction period on this building. We're targeting delivering in September of next year. 281 Franklin Street, which is our first building through the Downtown Conversions Pilot Program, is going to be delivering in September of this year. So new housing is coming. That is the first building through the program that is going to be welcoming new residents.
You've extended the deadline for this program once before. The deadline is now this year. Are you thinking of extending it further?
I think the mayor has seen the success of this program, and I think that we are evaluating additional proposals. And I would like to say that I'd like to recommend the mayor to extend this program. But I think it's clearly the kind of program that actually a lot of residents as well as developers feel like is really unique to solving the problem of not only creating new housing, but revitalizing existing buildings such as this one. Mayor?
I see Kairos has planted the question with the media to keep it going. But if there's more interest, developers should reach out and let us know, and that would certainly factor into whether we expand this and extend it.
Can you talk about the rezoning in downtown and how you see that as part of the government? You said all government approach to revitalizing downtown. Obviously, the upzoning that can bring investment and sort of win the decline, but you can just address how you see that fitting in the broader agenda.
Okay, so I'll start big picture, and then I know Kairos will be much more eloquent in filling in a lot. The mission is pretty clear. I say it 1,000 times a day, of making Boston a home for everyone, and that truly is about making sure the housing and the homes exist, and that all of the services, the amenities, all the things that you need to put together the pieces of your lives are also in that area. So each neighborhood of Boston should be a home. It should also be a destination for commerce, for small businesses to thrive and to be successful, for that kind of community building that can only happen at the local coffee shop or restaurant where you go to mark major milestones with your family and your loved ones. Downtown obviously plays a unique and incredibly important part in that world. We know that Boston's downtown and Boston's economic center is the economic engine for the entire New England region, and certainly for the rest of the Commonwealth. And we take that responsibility very seriously. I just recently sat down with General Manager Eng to talk about the transportation efforts and public transit to date and where we're going with the next couple steps, especially with a big summer next year, FIFA, tall ships, everything that's happening. So we have to be coordinated and recognize our role in providing that foundation of revitalization, economic activity, and always being on the leading edge of the kinds of growth that will sustain future generations, the right mix of industries, the right mix of residential and commercial. The neighbors in this area, I mean, Steve can say, you probably have plans in your files at home dating back 25 years to the conversations that residents have been participating in to envision what that ideal mix is, that you can't have only one of something, right? Only business open 9 to 5, or you can't have only neighborhoods without access to grocery stores and libraries and civic amenities. You need all of the above. As Mike Nichols was saying, that is playing out in an economy, in a world that is more fluid, with more options than ever before for residents, where people can live anywhere and work anywhere. It's not that, anyway, it's sort of flipped the paradigm where companies are choosing to make their investments, companies are choosing to decide where their headquarters are based on where the workforce wants to live, where the workforce feels like they can thrive as family members and as community members. So we've been doing a lot on that front. As you all also know, we have undertaken the first ever citywide rezoning effort since 1965 in Boston. We are making our way through the Squares and Streets process, and the Rosendale one has been voted through. Hyde Park is on the table as well. And what we say out in the neighborhoods, what we hear back and forth, is that we need the commitment to housing creation, to small business activity, to commerce and supports to exist in every part of the city. So we're adding density where it makes sense in our neighborhood commercial corridors as well. We are fixing our zoning code so that it is clearer and more predictable. We are revamping Article 80 for the first time since the law was written 30-some years ago in order to streamline and make that process more effective for developers, project proponents, and for community members. But it's very, very important where we can have density, where it makes sense, we have to go all in on housing. So as we're pushing in each neighborhood to identify the places where it makes sense to go up and have, in the right way and meeting the character and the unique design of each neighborhood, if there's anywhere we have to go up and make sure that it is housing, it is in the downtown core. And that feedback loop for our small businesses, for safety, for economic activity, for everything that will benefit residents citywide will really be important to come to reality through our downtown plan. First, Kairos, do you want to add anything on the downtown plan? And then, okay. And then Sheila, do you mind if I pull you up for this one? The question was, when you apply for the deed restricted units here, do you have to be a resident of this neighborhood when you apply?
We don't have a neighborhood preference, and I know a lot of neighborhoods do want that, but because of fair housing issues, we can't do that. But what we can do is make sure that the opportunity is well known in the neighborhood, and we can apply a Boston preference. So there's a lot of folks that want to live in Boston, but we're very, very motivated to take care of our residents first that are here and that need housing. So Boston preference, yes. Neighborhood preference, no, not yet.
And how do people find out how to sign up for the lottery once these units are?
So the Mayor's Office of Housing will oversee the lottery. So we will be doing lots of advertising, MetroList. Everyone is using MetroList. We advertise. And so you look for the opportunity probably about 4 to 6 months prior to the units coming online. And then we have a lottery, qualify, work with the developer to fill the units. When the mayor came in, there was a backlog of people trying to get into our affordable units. It was a problem. She has insisted that we fix it. Now it is almost seamless. So when things are advertised, they're available, people are occupying the units. Thanks.
So that was Sheila Dillon, Chief of Housing, Mayor's Office of Housing. I know it's very hot And I know that we really want to get to the next part, the most exciting part of the ceremony, which is taking a whack at this wall behind us to officially initiate this process. So, Adam, can I invite you to start with the process? We need a
Everybody like that? Yeah. Just marks the spot.
John gets the honor.
This time we thought you were a lefty.
So, Mike, I see you with the letter. Okay, so well, thank you very much for all of you coming today. I'm too weak for this, so and hope to see you at the next groundbreaking for this great program. Thank you.